Bro, you didn't have to lie. Why would you stab me in the back like that? After all that we've been through, this is how you gonna betray me? Yo, I really trusted you, man. Where's your morals? Where's your standards? Where are your principles? I really thought you was real. You did all of that for what? Messing up people's livelihood so you could step up in life? Well, only to find out we were brothers. We were friends. So I thought. Hey y'all, it's your boy, the man, the myth, the legend, back at it again with another YouTube video. Dwayne O'Neal Robinson here. Listen, if this is your first time clicking on to DOR Space, my channel, I want to welcome you thoroughly and tell you this is a space and a place where you get to experience my authentic self through cinematic art. Okay, and for all 201 subscribers, we growing, we going. I want to thank y'all for all your love and support. Make sure you all like, comment, and subscribe, and even please share and hit that bell button. So therefore, every time when I post, you will get the notification so you can continue to watch. Y'all know where I'm at. I'm outside. I'm getting the sunlight. I'm sweating out my toxins. I'm grounding. I'm praying. I'm reflecting. And, I'm just making sure that my energy's right. Making sure that God and I are good and making sure that, I'm leveled. Let me know if this is something that y'all like. I kind of like this vibe. I like to sit, relax, and get to talk to y'all, and y'all get to hear how I'm feeling or what I'm reflecting on today and learn some lessons. Let me know if this is y'all stilo, if y'all like this theme I got going on, if y'all rocking with it or not. Whoo-wee. Y'all won't believe what almost just happened, man. I got a notification that my recording device was on the verge of overheating, and I was like, oh no, I gotta talk to my peoples. I need you. Where the shade at? I gotta book it barefoot, find a bench, sit underneath the shade. I need you to cool off because I need to talk to my fam. You know what I mean? So I do apologize in advance if the lighting is not as good as it was early on in the video. I do apologize. I need it just to cool off. Today's video is about how my two best friends betrayed me. Yeah. So I had two male best friends growing up. One from middle school, one from high school. Okay? Let's call the one from middle school Bob and the one from high school Cam. All right? Boom. So from 2003 to 2006, I went to middle school and I was a band geek. Yes, a band geek. Very proud of it. And I met Bob in 2003, right? I played the clarinet, he played the snare. And that's how we had some common ground. But my first initial reaction to Bob was, I don't like this nigga. He is obnoxious, he is immature, and I just felt like he was doing way too much, right? I just found him very annoying. However, in 2006, we had this big end of the year 8th grade field trip, right? That's overnight. And out of all the people, who did I have as a roommate? One and only Bob. So I'm like, here we go. All right. I'm the type of person like, look, I'm going to make the best out of any situation that I can. So I went into it like, all right, Lord, let me try to find some middle ground and just be quiet and scope the scenery out, which I did. And, you know, as the trip went on and we started talking and I got to really learn him and know him and hear some of his experiences and stuff like that, I was just like, yo, we really got a lot in common. So we basically hit it off after that. Like, if you see Bob, you see D. From 8th grade onward, we were the best of boys. I saw him as like my dog, my brother, right? So in 10th grade, we had a falling out. He distanced himself from me, and I was just like, all right, whatever, bro. Like, it is what it is. Like, I ain't do nothing to you personally, but it is what it is. I ain't do nothing to you. So he like went on his way or whatever the case may be. No explanation. He just went off his way. So that really hurt me because I was just like, dang man, like that's pretty effed up, but it is what it is. Ended up meeting this guy named Cam, and never seen Cam on campus before. So what actually happened was the executive board needed a task to be done as soon as possible, right? And I was saying to myself, yo, I don't have the time to do it, nor do I have the resources. So who can do it? And then boom, Cam came to mind. So I knew some people who knew of him and could tell me his whereabouts, right? So I pulled up on him at class and in his class, and I was just like, yo, Cam, can I talk to you? He was just like, yeah, what's good, D? And I was just like, listen, man, I need X, Y, and Z done. Can you do it for our class? Could you do it for our executive board? It has to be done today. He was just like, oh, no pressure. I got that. Boom. It was just like, no problem. Because his dependability and his loyalty to the class, and it's something that he really didn't have to do. You know what I mean? I truly, truly respected him for that. And I was just like, yo, you solid. Like, mad love, mad respect for that. And ever since that day, like we really been cool. We exchanged numbers and he would bounce ideas off of me. I would bounce ideas off of him. We would talk. He joined the executive board as well as Bob. He joined the executive board, you know, junior, senior year. So it was cool. Like, you know what I mean? However, who I started to get really close to was Cam, right? During this time, Bob started to circle back, but he was really cool with another kid who I grew up with in elementary school called Vanilla Chocolate, right? So him and Vanilla Chocolate really was cool because they would do police explorers together, right? So it was like this youth program for young people that wanted to become police officers. So they would do the ride-alongs and whatever, right? So they became cool. They was real, real cool. All right. So it was technically the four of us, but you know, two of us, the pair, you know, was rocking with each other, right? Now I didn't ask Cam to run for class VP for me. Like it was my senior year. So, cause he told me like, yo, I gotta work. I help provide for my family. I'm like, yo, I respect that. Cool. Like bet. Boom. Now I was just like, who else can I trust? So I swallowed my pride and I was just like, yo, Bob, listen, I don't know, man. Let's pick up where we left off. You know, if you cool with it, but I'm asking you for a favor. Could you run alongside with me to be vice president for our senior year? You'd be like my right hand man. He was just like, yo, for our class, for you, bro, I'll do it. No pressure. Right? Cool. So senior year come, we all have a blast. He's vice president, I'm president, I win prom king, all of the works. Like it's a great year, right? Now it's graduation, right? So what ends up happening is after graduation, Bob decided to not to go to college but join the military, right? So did Vanilla Chocolate. Okay. I decided that I'm gonna go to college, and Cam decides that he's gonna go to um, enter into the workforce. Okay. So Bob asked me, you know, to look out for his family, look out for his mom, look out for his sister while he's away, because he doesn't know where he's gonna be stationed. And if I could write him, I'm like, yeah, I already know about the red, white, and blue phase and how boot camp is hard, and you know, I'll write you. You know, we could communicate through writing, so we would write letters to each other. He asked me to write letters to Vanilla Chocolate. I did that, like, you know what I mean, just to keep the communication, keep the motivation going, because I just want everybody to succeed around me, right? However, because Bob went away and I stayed local for college, the communication wasn't really there. So it was only touch and go, right? So Cam and I got really, really close because he stayed local. So I'm talking about like, yo, when I tell you Cam became my brother, like my ace, my right hand man. Like when I tell you, like it was Cam and I, like legit, it was Cam and I, man. So as the years went by, Cam hit a lot of success in the workforce, which I would never take that away from him, man. Like the man worked hard. He does his thing, and he found his niche and he just started to take off crazy, right? I graduated college and I started to enter into the education field and becoming a teacher. And, you know, when I look back at my college graduation, the people that were there were the people that I felt the most close to, which was my mother, my father, right? Bob flew in. Actually, my mom surprised me because the night before my graduation, I went to work and Cam and he was just like, bro, you about to graduate? Like, I'm pulling up, I'm picking you up. Dog, come on, like, we finna get lit. And I'm like, Cam, bro, I need to rest. Okay. Like, we could get lit this weekend. We could get lit any other time, not today. So he was just like, nah, I'm coming to pick you up right now. So he comes and pick me up. And Cam and I are outside, like outside. I'm talking about we at the strip club. And the DJ, he go up to the DJ booth, he tell the DJ, yo, my boy graduated, play something, announce him, bring him up on the stage. And literally the DJ announced and told me congratulations, and all the strippers, they come in and they like, oh my God, congratulations, you about to be a teacher, let me give you a free dance. Lit a movie, you heard? Like, and I did not get home until like 5 o'clock in the morning. Mind you, my graduation is at 2. While I'm sleeping, who knocks on my bedroom door? Bob. Bob wakes me up because my mom told Bob that I was graduating and he flew in, right? Because not only that I was graduating, but his mom was graduating too from college. So I had my mom, my dad, Bob, um, Barbie. I'm gonna tell y'all about Barbie. Remember that name, Barbie. And I had Cam there. Those were the 5 tickets that I got. Those were the 5 people that were there, and that's who I was closest to. So had a great time, and as we just watched each other grow, man, like whether if they had children, success in their workplace, success in buying their first, like I was there for Ken when he purchased his first home. He was there for me when I purchased my first home. Any type of celebration that he had, like I was a part of, he was a part of. But Bob, I settled in the West Coast, so he wasn't on the South Side, so he was on the West Coast. So I had to go and visit him, and he got married and had a kid. And let me tell you how in sync we were. Like I remember Bob text me like, I got something to tell you, and I was just like, you about to be a dad and you're about to have a son. And I texted him that and he was in shock. He was just like, yo, how did you know that? Did you speak to my mom? I was like, no, I just felt it, bro. And he was just like, yo, I really be feeling like you psychic sometimes. I'm just like, nah, it's just spiritual discernment, brother. That's it. Like if I'm in tune with you and we locked in, we locked in. I can sense things, I can feel things, right? Remember that I said that. So boom, that's our 20s. Going into our 30s, right? What ends up happening is Bob moves back to South Florida, right? With his wife and his kid. And, you know, I'm like, oh, cool. Now I got my two best friends together. Like, it's great. Like, cool, you know? And, you know, me and Cam still ripping and running, still having a good time, still being boys, still like, that's on lock. You know, Cam and I had a type of brotherhood like, yo, Cam, why you always riding on E? And he'd be like, man, D, don't worry about that, dog. Like, I know my car, da da da. Get a call. Yo, D, I ran out of gas, dog. Where you at? Hey, man, I'm here. Let me pull up. Take my car. I'll go get the gas for you, bro. You know, like that. Like, if he called me twice, I know it's an emergency. If he called me once, like, and I don't answer, or he don't call me back, or they don't shoot a text, like, we had our own type of means of communication and code. And between Cam and I, there was sometimes like we ain't even really speak like that. You know what I'm saying? Because we were both on the grind. But we was always cool though. You know, cool with his family, he cool with my family, whatever. Bob is back in the picture. It's like, okay, cool, like, you know, whatever. But I'm Bob and Cam didn't really like each other like that. They were cool, but they didn't really like each other like that. So what ended up happening is, when I'm telling you I'm that type of friend, when I'm there for you. It doesn't matter what it is, I'm there for you, right? One time Bob called me and he was just like, my wife cheated, pull up right now. I said, what? Your wife cheated on you? He was just like, yeah, my wife cheated on me, pull up right now. So I'm shocked because I'm like, yo, this woman love this man, like, love Bob. And I see the play, I pull up to the crib. I don't know what I'm walking into. The man is in tears. Like, she took their son, left the place a mess, and he basically like broke down in front of me. And I'm like, yo, dog, don't worry about it. Like, I'm here for you, player. Like, don't worry about it. Anything you need, I got you. Like, you're gonna make it through it. You're gonna be all right. Like, even if you decide to stay married to her, like, you could work on the relationship. Like, you know, marriage is something sacred. It's different, you know. But he decided to get a divorce, and I was there for him through it. You know what I mean? And held him down. So as that's going on, you know, there was another situation that transpired with Cam. Cam ended up having a baby with another girl, right? That I knew since middle school too. And it created a big rift because it was supposed to be a secret. He didn't want his family to know, or whatever the case may be. Now, when I saw the picture of the baby, I was just like, yeah, my G, that's your jig, right? But I kept on telling him, I'm like, yo, Cam, stop messing with this girl, dog. Like, I know you love her, but she cheated on you, bro, and she messing with other dudes. Like, dog, I even was just like, dude, she even messing with a buddy at the barber shop. Like, my G, like, stop messing with her. However, he ended up getting her pregnant, and he was just like, it's not my baby. She said it's not my baby. I'm like, bro, she got your nose and your eyes and your skin tone. That's your baby. Like, that's your baby. Cause that's your baby. So he was just like, yo, D, just don't tell nobody. Please. I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna tell nobody. That's not my place. That's not my business. It's not my child. You know what I'm saying? But I'll hold you down. So this man ended up blowing me up one day. And I'll never forget it. He started blowing me up. And what ended up happening was, I answered the phone because I was working at the time. I answered the phone and I'm like, dang, what's going on? He was just like, yo, oh shoot, golly. He was like, yo, you told my mom about my girl, and you told my mom that I got a daughter. And I was just like, yo, Cam, why would I tell your mom that, bro? Like, what would it benefit me to tell your mom that? Long story short, it comes out that his own blood brother found out about his daughter and his girl, or whatever the case may be, because he was dating a stripper. So it was like a big thing, which I was just like, so what? Um, and show pictures or whatever the case may be. And his brother even asked me about it. I was like, bro, you need to talk to your brother, dog. Like, don't come to me and ask me nothing. Go talk to your brother. I don't got nothing to say about that, right? So what ended up happening was we fell out for a long time and we ain't talked for a long time because I kind of felt like, yo, why would I betray you like that? I would never do that because there's certain things that I did or certain things that he did. I would never talk about. You know what I'm saying? At that time. So boom. Now, you know, we work it out or whatever the case may be, but I'm very like watchful. You know what I'm saying? I'm very watchful and I'm very like, oh, like let's see what's going on. So now fast forward into our 30s, when I lost my dream home, I was talking to Cam about it. And Cam was just like, yo, D, I'm doing real good. I could set you up with something. I just I ain't gonna force you. It's up to you though, if you want to do it. I'm like, man, listen, man, I already did it before. I ain't had no success at it, dog. He was just like, it's different now, bro. I promise I got you. I'm like, man, listen, man, I ain't trying to be no burden to nobody. He was just like, I understand that, D, but what you gonna do? You about to, you gonna give up your house? Like, you ain't got no job, you ain't working 6 months. Like, here's a proposition. I was like, all right, man, I'll do it. So I start to work alongside with Cam, right? And at first, everything is good. Everything is Gucci. Even to the point wherein, Cam and I, along with Bob, start traveling together, right? So we like go to Colombia, passport bros, um, have a good time out there. And then I was having a conversation with Bob one day, and Bob is like, yo, D, check it. Um, I think it's time for you to make something on your vision board come true. I'm like, what you talking about? He's just like, I've been to Paris with one of my little shorties or whatever the case may be. While I was overseas, he was just like, let's go to Paris, my G. I was like, for real? He was just like, yeah, I'm in the aviation, woo woo. I could work out the tickets and stuff like that. And I'm like, cool. I was just like, yo, let me ask Cam if he wanna come along. So I brought it to Cam, and Cam was just like, yeah. I was just like, yo, we could go for like 10 days. And Cam was like, nah, because of work, let's do 7. So we all met at Cam house and decided of like where we wanted to go, what we wanted to do. So we decided to go like to Paris, and we decided to go to Italy, like Bari, Rome, Milan, um, Venice. You know, that's where we went, and we had a great time. But I started to notice some things within Cam and within Bob that I started to side eye, and it just didn't sit well with me, right? So with Cam, Cam is very blunt. Honesty is the best policy with him. However, he doesn't have that much compassion with expressing it, right? And I think that's very important. Like, you could be honest. However, I think you need to lead with love and you need to lead with compassion. And I'm not perfect. And I know sometimes I don't do that, but I try my best to practice that, right? And to shed some grace. So I'll just say that. And then I started to notice with Bob, he started to have some financial issues that just did not make sense to me. So I'm like, yo, what's going on? So boom, we go on a trip. have a good time, come back, and we all had paid our way, right? Everybody, spent their money, paid their way. However, what ended up happening is that we were supposed to fly first class on the way back home. It didn't work out. So what ended up happening was Bob was supposed to give us the money back because he was supposed to he was the one that booked the ticket. So boom. So what caused the rift between Bob and Cam is that like 2-3 months go by, I don't hear nothing from Bob. Cam don't hear nothing from Bob. So Cam come to me and was just like, yo, what's going on with Bob? Like, I ain't hear nothing from him. Like, I need my money. So I'm like, okay, like, let me hit him up. Like, I didn't hear anything from him. So I had to call one of his coworkers and call, his people and be like, yo, tell the man to call me back. So I was just like, yo, what's going on with you? Like, I ain't hear from you for like 2-3 months since we got back, and you owe Cam his money and he want his money. He was just like, yo, my bad. I just been super busy with work. I'm going to cash app you the money right now. He cash app me the money, and I was able to give it to Cam, right? So boom. Now, remember I said Cam and I are working together. Now, I started to notice that Cam started flexing very, very differently. And I noticed the shift and I felt the shift, and I'm like, yo, I think this man is about to do something, and I don't necessarily agree with it, right? So one of the last conversations that we had, he was telling me what he wanted to do, right? And I was just like, damn, like, I don't really think that's a good idea. I don't think that's a, a good way to handle it. Like, there's multiple ways for you to handle something. But let me tell y'all something. You see, when you allow money to run your life, biblically, I strongly believe that money, the love of money, is the root of all evil. The love of it, not money itself, but the love of money is the root of all evil. And I started to see where for Cam, money, his love for it, I started to see this really dark, nasty, sinister side. And I kind of started to fall back a little bit because I was just like, yo, this man is like snapping and spazzing. And I'm like, yo, it ain't got nothing to do with me. Like, this is getting personal, and it's something personal that's spilling over into the professional aspect. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm out. Like, I got to give this man his space. And during this time, people were warning me like, yo, be careful, be careful, be careful. Get away from him. Don't talk to him. Cut him off. And I'm like, nah, that's my boy. Like, we go way back. Like, he just going through a tough time right now. Yo, this man did me so dirty. I could have literally caught a charge. I could have I really could have went to jail over what he did. It was that egregious. And matter of fact, let me put it to you in like this. It was to the point wherein I was just like, yo, if you did what you did on the street, you would be a dead nigga. I'm telling you, that's how bad it was. And all he had to do was just keep it keep it a buck with me and be honest. But you want to lie to up to or withhold information and then slight me out of all people, stab me in the back out of all people, just so you could level up at a job, bro. You could have just said, yo, D, I was presented with a proposal, I was presented with a deal, and I'm thinking about taking the deal. Hey, bro, I don't agree with that deal. I don't agree with you doing it. Let me know. Or even he didn't let me know. Okay, I still have to make a choice because I don't want what you got going on affecting me. So from there, like I was just like, yo, like, I don't like how this man is moving. Come to find out, dog, he basically threw me under the bus, betrayed me so he could get a promotion at his job and level up. Dog, hey man, cool, good for you. If that's what you want to do, you want to make money, you want to be great, you want to get married, you want to do all of those things, I'm there for you. I'm cheering you on. But do not stab me in the back or mess up other people's livelihood for your own capital gain. Like, what do you gain from that, my G? Like, what sense does that make? To me, I'm just like, that's foul. Like, you could have just been honest and we could have kept it pushing. You know what I'm saying? But you didn't communicate, you didn't say anything, but you just gonna throw me under the bus like that for a bag? Okay, cool. No pressure. So from that day, and what really upset me is that he did what he did, which he knew it was egregious, and he knew it was it would upset me, and I would respond. But because I responded in silence and I just disappeared, like went ghost, whatever I had in his house or whatever it was, like I took it out and I wrote a note and I was just like, yo, I gotta go in order for me to grow and for you to grow. So right now, this whole friendship between you and I, we ain't got nothing to talk about because at the end of the day, you made a decision and I had to make a decision. And I don't respect you for that decision, but that's who you are. And that's it. I thank you for the time. I thank you for the years. You know what I'm saying? I sacrificed a lot. You sacrificed a lot. You don't owe me nothing. I damn well and sure don't owe you nothing. Like, go your merry way, my G. Like, that's it. So, boom. Now, in the midst of that, right? Mind you, I just lost my house. I just was getting settled and getting my feet planted. And now I lose my best friend like that. So Bob hit me up and was just like, yo, what's going on? So Bob was just like, yo, I just quit my job. I was like, nah. I was just like I did too. He was just like, yo, I got a business proposition. Like, let's go in business together. He showed me the business plan. We started talking about it. And I was just like, yo, let's do it. I'll invest because I got a little money saved up or whatever the case may be. I'll invest. Why did Bob? Why did Bob basically talk to me, him, another female and another male? The female didn't do it because she was just like, yo, I don't have the time or whatever. But another male, right? A friend of his. It was three of us that was in business with each other, right? Why this man took the money and to this day I don't know where the money at. I'm asking for my money back. Homeboy asking for his money back. We can't get our money back to this very day. Mind you, there was some other money that he had borrowed from me, and I was just like, okay, cool, like, but I kept a track of it. I was just like, yo, you owe me X amount of dollars, like, what's up? Where the money at? He was like, oh, I'll pay you. He paid me like 3% of the money back out of the 100%. And every time when we're supposed to link up, every time we're supposed to talk, every time when I'm supposed to get the money, I can't get my money back. So he has a baby, he has a new girl, or whatever the case may be, and he's living his life as if like nothing is phasing him, and he's not communicating with me or his other business partner at all. So what I end up doing is dissolving the business, like straight up dissolving the business, dissolving the account, or whatever the case may be. Whatever the business was, I just completely dissolved it. And then I was just like, yo, listen, I know you got whatever you got going on, but I'm pulling up to you. So I pulled up, he wrote me a check, the check bounced. Apparently he had all this identity theft and all of this stuff. Now I started to do my investigation. So I call his ex-wife, I call his mom, I call his girl. I hit up some of his homies that he had in the military. I hit up his roommate. I start hitting all these people up. I hit up a couple of his exes too. And I'm like, yo, what is going on with homie? Right? And apparently, like, the money, he wasn't paying his rent. He wasn't The car that he owned is not in his name. It's in his roommate's name. Um, he wasn't paying majority of his bills. So I'm like, yo, for someone who's making good money, dog, like, why are you not paying your bills? Be like, what's going on? Like, is this what you did to rob Peter to pay Paul? And then other people started telling me, like, yo, like, remember the time that he disappeared and he was in DR? I was just like, yeah. He was just like, yeah, because he owed a whole bunch of people money. And I'm like, they were like, yo, he has a gambling issue. You know, his ex-wife was just like, yo, he have a gambling issue. She had to pay some people off because it caused an issue. So I'm like, yo, man, like, dog, you telling me you took money from me, dog, knowing my situation, and you ain't even gonna pay me back, bro? Because you have an alleged gambling issue or whatever it is that you're doing. Like, what's up with that? Like, my G, you could have just been real. Don't say that you're gonna borrow it and then pay me back and then never pay me back. So I text him. We were supposed to link up one last time, and I text him. I was just like, yo, where you at? The man called me crying, oh, he's sick, he this, that. Never showed up. So I texted him. I was just like, yo, as long as you live, you and I, our friendship is done. It's over with. So I had one friend betrayed me to level up for money. And I had one friend that basically stole from me, right? And I'm talking about friendship of over 15, 20 years that span. My two best friends betrayed me because of money, because they felt as if they needed to level up and they needed to do whatever they needed to do. And for me personally, I would never let anyone, I would never let anyone, I would never loan anybody money. I would never help anyone out financially like that again, because the two closest people to me, like, really royally screwed me over. Like, I just don't even bother with them at all. Like, I haven't spoken to one in almost 2 years and another in like almost a year. Like, I personally believe, like, I would never do that to somebody. I don't care how high they are, how low they are. I would never betray nobody for money. I would never throw nobody under the bus for money. I would never treat nobody like that, knowing their circumstances and knowing their situation. And that right there, man, that really, really hurt me, because I was saying, like, yo, y'all supposed to be my boys. Like, y'all supposed to be, we supposed to look out for each other, and I'm supposed to look out for y'all. Like, I ain't do nothing, no wrong to y'all. Like, I ain't do no wrong to y'all. Like, nothing. Anything that I said, I could say it to their faces. I ain't do nothing wrong. But I realized that because of my loyalty, because of the lack of respect, because of the fact that, you know, I'm over here breaking my back for other people, they not gonna break my back for me. And it was really tough because it happened like back to back to back to back. So the situation with me losing my dream house, then the situation with with Cam, and then the situation with Bob, like, that all happened in a span of like 2 years, 3 years. And I'm like, dang, God, what happened? And I just realized God started to remove people out of my life that I didn't no longer need out of my life, or I needed to keep a distance from. And it's really sad, because at the end of the day, I'm like, you could know somebody for so many years, but really not know them. You could be doing things with good intent, but they don't have good intention for you. So, you know, again, it's just like, I don't really trust people. I really don't. Like, I don't trust people at all because of the situation. Because again, you sitting here traveling the world, having a great time, doing all of these great things, and then all of a sudden, like, someone stab you in the back like that, someone throw you under the bus like that, like, for a bag, or to take from you when you didn't have. Yo, it really messed with me mentally, dog. It really, really did. But, you know, that's why I just stick to myself now. I really don't mess with people like that. I don't mess with a whole bunch of people. Like, that's why I went ghost. That's why I also like cut people off. I only have like one or two male friends, and I talk to, that I'm cool with, but I just find like dudes really really weird, and females really really weird. Like, I don't trust people nowadays. It's just like they show you one side, and then you get another side, and you don't know what you're gonna get, bro. So to me, I'm just like, yo, no new friends. I stick with who I got. Like, I mean, losing hundreds, thousands of dollars. Like, it's just like, yo, and I can't get that money back. Can I sue? Yes. Can I fight? Yes. But that's gonna take time. And I'm like, yo, I'm not even trying to exert that energy, man. Like, whatever you took from me, whatever you made off of me, that's what you're worth to me. That's all. And life to me is priceless. So when you start to do something for a price and you put a price tag on something, like, that's all on you. So for me, I just stick by myself. I don't want to be a burden to nobody. I don't want nobody to be a burden to me. I just stick in my corner. And that is how my two best friends betrayed me, over money. That's it, y'all. So I'll tell you this again: when people start to gaslight you, when people start to project their insecurities onto you, take it as a sign of that's their issue. you know when people start telling you about other people, like, yo, be careful, be careful, be careful, listen, man. Not because it's your boy or not because it's your girl. Like, you don't know their intent, you don't know what they're doing behind the scenes, and there's so much more that went down, but it's just so convoluted and complex. Like, I can't really share all of it in one video, but that's like the meat and the potatoes of it all. So it's all good, man. I wish them well. Like, I'm just like, yo, just be careful, because y'all got kids. And when you do bad like that, and when you cross people like that, like, it may not affect you, it may affect your children or your generations or your whole lineage. Like, you have to be very careful about how you treat people and what you do, because, again, I'm not perfect, but I don't do things with ill intent. Like, I don't do things on purpose, like, to hurt people or to, like, level up, to cross somebody up. Like, I don't believe in that, man. Because trust me, I believe that whole art of confusion and the seven deadly sins, when you embody that as a person and then you try to cover it up with good deeds, or you try to cover it up with kind gestures, you're a wolf in sheep clothing. No, I don't want it. No, thank you. I'm good. You could keep it. I'll pray for you. I hope everything goes well for you. But as for me, mm-mm, I don't want it. But yeah, that's how I lost my best friends. And let me tell y'all, just be careful out there, man. Be careful who you trust. Be careful who you put your trust in. When you see the signs, adjust. It doesn't matter how long of a friendship, how many years, how many months, how many weeks, how many days, whatever time. When that season is over, that season is over. And that's it. That's it. You got to let it go. People come into your life for you to learn and grow. And sometimes some people are there for a lifetime and some people are not. And that's okay. You just got to be okay with it. But you got to be more wise too. And, you try to help people and you try to be there for people. But if it's not being reciprocated, or they flipping the script on you, or they dissing themselves from you, and you noticing like the energy is off, let me tell y'all something: darkness and light cannot remain in the same place. It cannot. So I wish y'all to be well, have a lot of prosperity, to protect yourself, pray and ask God for guidance and even protection too. And just always do a audit of the people that are around you. Always be authentic, always be real, always speak your truth, with compassion and love, and you ain't gonna have no problem. So that's the video for today. Until next time, y'all.